What's good, Commanders fans? It is training camp eve, and I am so excited, man. I can't wait. I just can't wait, man. Football is finally almost back. The games are almost back, but training camp's gonna be lit, man. Like, it's pretty cool. They got the stands on the side of training camp now in Ashburn, in Ashburn. That's gonna be lit, man. That's gonna be pretty cool because that's gonna be our first time. I think they had it like years and years ago, but that is pretty cool because it's usually like a side of grass and it's like a hill. When I went out to Richmond, it was like a hill and a side of grass. But now you're gonna have stands, so that is pretty cool. That's lit. That's lit. That should be a lot of fun. That should be really cool to watch. Training camp from the stands, you can get a better view, so you're not looking over somebody's head or trying to tilt your head to the side and look and stuff like that. But all right, let's get to the signing of Byron Pringle here. 1-year deal from the Chiefs, Washington Chiefs. Eric Bieniemy already making moves. Brought in Marcus Kemp. Brought in Andrew Wiley. So now he's bringing in Byron Pringle, wide receiver, for a 1-year deal. I like Byron Pringle a lot, man. Look at his highlights against the Steelers where he just makes a guy miss in a phone booth. He's shifty, makes one guy miss this way. Then he ducks his head, breaks like 2 or 3 tackles, gets a touchdown. You look at his numbers, man. This guy has produced in the league. Not big numbers, but he's produced for sure. 42 catches in 2021 for 568 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, last year with the Bears, he had 10 catches for 135 yards, played in 11 games and 4 games started. But you got to look at the way that they run their offense with Justin Fields. And I like Justin Fields, but, you know, he's still developing as a quarterback. You saw how he struggled against us when we beat them on Thursday Night Football. He had a lot of inaccurate passes. So I'm not going to really blame Byron Pringle for having a down year that year. So it is what it is on that. But he had a really good year in 2021, and he stepped up for them with 5 touchdowns and 42 catches. Also looking at some advanced, but he's very shifty, man. I think he can be a punt returner too. Now, he did return kicks for Kansas City as well, where he scored a couple touchdowns. Looking at the numbers here. So, yeah, he scored a touchdown in 2020. He had 10 kick returns for 324 yards, which is pretty darn good. Then he had 25 kick returns for 621 yards, 24 yards per kick return, which is not bad at all. Now, he has not returned a punt at all, but at Kansas State, he returned a couple of punts at Kansas State. So he does have some experience returning punts, and I think he can definitely compete with Dax Milne and Casimir Allen as the punt returner. I do think he's going to make the roster. Because he's shifty, he can make guys miss, and he does provide some type of return dynamic to the roster. He's tough, man. He goes over the middle, gets a couple of tough catches, got a couple of tough catches with the Bears. You watch some of the Bills games. He had a good game in the playoffs against the Bills as well. So this guy is a tough, hard-nosed player. He plays bigger than what he is. He's 6'1", 201 pounds, but he plays very strong, 29 years old. He's got that dog in him for sure with the Kansas State. So this guy can play, man. He can play. Now, of course, we got our 3 dogs of receiver with Terry, Curtis, and Jahan. I do like Diami a lot, but he hasn't proven it yet. He had a good game against the Titans. So those are your 4 lots for making the roster. After that is like Dax, Marcus Kemp. There's a competition between those guys. Dax, Marcus Kemp, Casimir, now Byron, and Mitchell Tinsley as well. Mitchell Tinsley had a good mini camp, so that's why I'm including Mitchell Tinsley in the mix as well. But I like this signing, man. Look at some advanced stats for Byron Pringle, man. Not only is he a good catcher, at catching the football, making guys miss, but per PFF, his wide receiver run blocking grades from 2021 was 74.8. So among wide receivers, he was 16th in run blocking. So not only is he going to go out there and make some plays, but he's going to do the dirty work too, man. And we're going to run the ball with B-Rob and Gibby and maybe Chris Rodriguez, maybe Jared Patterson here and there. Byron Pringle's a guy that's going to go out there and put his nose in the dirt and put a hard hat on somebody and block out there. So that's why I like him too. Looking at some other advanced stats from 2021, he had 137.9 passer rating, win targeted this season, including the playoffs, second best among all wide receivers. So this guy can be relied on. He could be a good red zone threat too, man. He's got strong hands and he can go up and get it, man. He's got some bounce to him, man. Looking at his vertical leap, it's not that great coming out of college, but he had a 33-inch vertical leap and a 40-yard dash. So he's faster than his 40-yard dash, 15 bench reps, which is fine for a wide receiver. So he definitely adds a different dynamic. We have so much speed on this roster, the wide receiver position. It's just ridiculous. You know, Terry can run a 4.3, Curtis 4.3. Jahan didn't run a 4.3, but he can run, man. He's super fast, super shifty as well. So we got some speed on this wide receiver core for sure. So I like this addition. I don't mind Eric Bieniemy bringing his guys in. I don't mind him bringing in any Chiefs guys at all. I don't mind it at all. So I like this signing, man. This is a good signing for sure. But just looking at the roster, I think he's going to make the roster. I think if you look at The receiving core, you probably have, of course, you got the 4 locks. And then I would go with Byron Pringle at this point. And then I think Marcus Gibbs going to make the roster because that's a guy that Eric Bieniemy brought in, and he's going to have that veteran presence. You see Marcus Kemp already with the guys down in Florida working out a couple weeks ago, just being a veteran leader out there. So I think he's definitely going to make the roster. They may keep 7. If they keep 7, then I would go with Casimir. And I think Dax is I'm not going to say he's a terrible punt returner, but he's a guy that he's not going to muff the punt. And I think they should definitely try Byron Pringle out there. They did say Nate Katzer, the special teams coach, he did say that they would try. Don't sleep on Jahan Dotson returning punts, but I wouldn't risk putting Jahan Dotson out there running punts because we got to keep him healthy for this season because he missed a couple of games last year. So I just don't want to put him at risk at all. But I do like the signing of Byron Pringle from Kansas City, and he is a Super Bowl champion as well. He did win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs in 2020. Let me see where he was drafted at too, real quick. Went to Kansas State. Put up some good numbers at Kansas State as well. 739 receiving yards his last year at Kansas State. But let me see. Was he drafted or was he undrafted? Yeah, I think he was undrafted. So this guy, he's got out the mud for sure, being undrafted out of Kansas State. And he's carved out a good career for himself. 2019, 170 yards receiving, 160 yards receiving in 2020, then 568. He broke out his third year in NFL with 42 catches for 568 yards. And 33 yards per catch. So he can be a deep threat as well, man. He can be, if they're sleeping on, you can put 4 receivers out there. If they're sleeping, if they're trying to double tear, you can't really double tear anymore because you got Jahan and Curtis. So I just love our receiving core. I really do. I love our receiving core so much. So I think this is a darn good pickup for sure. I really do. All right, so training camp starts tomorrow. Things I'm looking for: Sam Howell against Jacoby Brissett, of course. The left guard position: Sadiq Charles versus Chris Paul. I'm looking at the tight ends. Cole Turner, can he step up and stay healthy this training camp? Logan Thomas, of course. Chase Young, how does he look? KJ Henry, all the rookies. Forrest versus Jahan and Terry. Ben St. Juice versus Emmanuel Forbes, who's going to start on the outside, is going to be him. Ben St. Juice or Emmanuel Forbes. A lot of people are looking at that. How does Nick Gates look? Just how the offensive line looks. Charles Lano coming back. Andrew Wiley, Nick Gates, and Sam Cosmi at right guard. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with our offensive line for sure. Quan Martin, I can't wait to see him. I'm basically naming everybody on the roster, but I'm definitely looking at Chase Young, definitely looking at KJ Henry, Montez Sweat, all the guys, our whole defensive line, of course. And then all the rookies for sure. So, and Chris Rodriguez, is he in shape and is he ready to go this training camp too? So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Like I said, make sure you guys check out Prize Picks. Use my promo code REALEdOliver. You get 100% deposit match up to $100 using the link down below in the description. They put out some new props out here. So they got Dak Prescott over under 12.5 pass interceptions this season. Now, he already said that he was not going to throw 10 interceptions. You know that's a lie because look at the game he played against us. He tried to give Kendall Fuller a Christmas gift. He basically did. He threw the ball right to Kendall Fuller, back-to-back plays, and Kendall Fuller finally caught the interception and took it back for a pick six. So Dak is definitely going to throw more than 12 interceptions for sure. Basically threw, 10, 11 interceptions, and it only played, barely over half a season. So he's definitely going to throw, 12. He's probably going to throw, 13, 14, 15 picks. And then Terry McLaurin over 899 receiving yards. That's pretty easy. Terry always gets over 1,000 receiving yards basically every season he's been in the league. So I would definitely take the over on that. And Emmanuel Forbes, 2.5 interceptions on the season. That's a tough one. That's a toss-up. But I would take the over on that too. So, but that's a risky play right there. I would definitely do the Terry over and Dak Prescott over on interceptions. You guys let me know what you guys think. I'm hyped for training camp tomorrow. You guys let me know what you guys want to see in training camp, what you guys are paying attention to the most. Of course, Eric Bieniemy is going to be super, super loud at training camp. So I'm excited to see what he does at training camp when I go on August 15th at the joint practice. And I might be there on Saturday on the 29th. You guys let me know what days you guys are going. Should be a lot of fun. Hail to Commanders. Peace.